Welcome to Mystify Me, true crime and enigmatic investigations where we unravel the mysteries of the past, explore haunting legends, and dive deep into the unexplained. From eerie hauntings to unsolved crimes, each story we cover will leave you questioning what you thought you knew. Today we're uncovering the chilling tale of a haunted key and the dark secrets buried within an abandoned estate. Is there more to the story than meets the eye? Let's find out together. In the heart of the countryside, far away from the bustling streets and the rush of modern life, there lies an old, crumbling estate. This estate, once grand and full of life, now sits abandoned, its windows dark and empty, its walls worn down by time. For years it has been forgotten, except for the whispers and stories that surround it. Locals speak of strange happenings within its walls, the eerie flicker of lights in empty rooms, doors creaking open on their own, and the faint sound of footsteps when no one walks. But what makes this estate even more chilling is a recent discovery that has reignited interest in its dark past, a mysterious key found buried in the dust of time. The story begins with an old legend tied to the house, a tale passed down through generations, though few dared to speak of it openly. It was said that a family once lived in the mansion, a wealthy and respected family that thrived on its vast land and riches. But as is often the case with stories like these, tragedy soon struck. The youngest daughter of the family, a girl named Evelyn, disappeared under strange circumstances. Some believed she had simply run away, perhaps overwhelmed by the pressures of high society. Others, however, whispered of something far more sinister, that she had been taken, or worse, that her restless spirit still haunted the halls, searching for something long lost. For years these rumors persisted, even as the house slowly fell into disrepair. The family's fortune faded, and the estate was eventually abandoned, left to the elements and the passage of time. But those who lived nearby could never forget the eerie feeling that surrounded the place. They spoke of strange figures seen in the windows at night, and some even claimed to hear Evelyn's voice calling softly from the shadows. It wasn't until decades later, when a group of paranormal investigators decided to explore the old mansion, that the legend took a new and chilling turn. Among the dust-covered furniture and forgotten belongings, one of the investigators stumbled upon an old key. It was tucked away in a small, hidden compartment within a desk, an odd, intricate key covered in layers of dust, yet still holding a certain weight, as if it had been waiting all these years to be found. The discovery of this key seemed to unlock more than just a hidden drawer. It opened the door to a series of strange and terrifying events. The locals, hearing about the discovery, were quick to warn the investigators. They claimed that the key belonged to Evelyn, that it was the very key she had been searching for in her final days. It was said that she had been obsessed with a particular room in the house, a room that no one else was allowed to enter. She spent hours locked away inside, though no one knew what she did there. Some speculated she was working on a secret project, while others believed she had been driven mad by grief or something darker. Whatever the truth, Evelyn's obsession with this room and its hidden secrets became the focal point of the legend. With the key now in their possession, the investigators decided to delve deeper into the house's history. They began to notice strange occurrences as they explored. At night, they heard footsteps echoing through the halls, footsteps that did not belong to any of them. They saw shadows flit past windows even though no one was outside. And the cold, a bone-chilling draft, swept through the mansion, even on warm nights, as if something unseen was moving through the air. As they pieced together the fragments of the estate's history, the investigators learned that Evelyn had indeed become consumed by something sinister in her final days. Old diaries, letters, and journals suggested that she had been trying to unlock a dark family secret, one tied to the strange room and the key that had now surfaced. There were hints of ancient rituals, strange symbols carved into the walls, and a growing sense of paranoia that gripped Evelyn in her last days. Her final diary entry, written in a trembling hand, was short but chilling. "The key. It's the only way, but what it unlocks, I fear, should never be opened." Intrigued but unnerved, the investigators debated whether they should use the key. Was it simply a relic of the past, or did it still hold power over whatever had haunted Evelyn and her family? Despite the warnings, they couldn't resist the temptation. The mystery of the house and its tragic past called to them, urging them to uncover the truth. One night, they decided to search for the room Evelyn had been so obsessed with. It took hours of wandering through the sprawling mansion, but eventually they found it, a door hidden behind a false wall in one of the upstairs bedrooms. The door was old, its wood dark and splintered, and there was a lock, ancient and rusted, that seemed to match the key perfectly. With a deep breath, one of the investigators inserted the key and turned it slowly. The lock clicked open with an unsettling sound, and the door creaked as it swung inward. What lay beyond was not what they had expected. The room was small, barely more than a closet, and inside there was little more than a simple wooden chest. The air was thick, as if the room had been sealed for years, and a heavy sense of dread filled the space. As they approached the chest, the temperature seemed to drop even further. But they had come this far, and they couldn't turn back now. They opened the chest. Inside was a collection of strange artifacts, old papers covered in cryptic symbols, a mirror with a cracked surface, and a small, worn notebook. The notebook appeared to belong to Evelyn, and as they flipped through its pages, they found detailed accounts of her growing fear. She wrote of hearing voices, seeing figures in the corners of her eyes, and being visited by a dark presence at night. She described the key as both a blessing and a curse, something that held the answers she sought, but also opened the door to something far darker. As they read on, the investigators realized that Evelyn had not been alone in her obsession. Her family, too, had been involved in something dark, something that had been passed down through generations. The key, it seemed, was part of a ritual meant to bind a restless spirit, a spirit that had haunted the family for years. But something had gone wrong. Instead of containing the spirit, Evelyn had released it. At that moment, the room seemed to grow colder still, and a low whisper filled the air. The investigators, suddenly terrified, turned to leave, but the door slammed shut behind them. The room was plunged into darkness, and the air grew thick with a suffocating presence. They felt the cold brush of something unseen, something that had been waiting in the shadows. Panic set in as they struggled to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, and the temperature continued to drop. One of the investigators managed to push the door open, and they stumbled out into the hallway, hearts racing, minds reeling. They fled the mansion that night, leaving the key, the chest, and the room behind. But the experience left a lasting mark on them. They had come looking for answers, but what they found was something far more terrifying. The house, the key, and the dark secrets of Evelyn's past were best left undisturbed. Even now the mansion remains abandoned, its windows dark and its halls silent. But those who know the story still say that if you listen closely on a quiet night, you can hear the creak of doors, the echo of footsteps, and the soft whisper of a girl's voice, still searching for what was lost. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the eerie mysteries of the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Join us on Mystify Me as we continue to uncover true crime, paranormal events, and unsolved mysteries from around the world. Have a mystery you want us to explore? Drop a comment below. Stay curious, stay brave, and remember, some secrets are best left undisturbed.